What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about old motorsports, and if you've watched Yami Noob or some of these common YouTube channels, you'll find that a lot of them have a great aversion to older stuff. Like if you watch a Yami Noob video about Craigslist bikes, he will scoff at things. He'll be like, oh, it's 20 years old, oh, it's 15 years old, oh, it's 10 years old, it should be cheap. And especially the aversion to mileage, like anything over 20,000 miles, he'll have a great aversion to. So today we're talking about, are motorcycles and power sports equipment actually really that bad at high mileage or old age? So we're going to run through these bikes, and then we're going to hop on the R3 and go talk about it. So real quick rundown. My first bike was this 1999 BMW F650. It has about 30,000 miles on it, 28,000. It's now my dad's bike, so I don't ride that one anymore, and these are my primaries. That's a 1993 XT225. It's got about 6,000 miles on it. A CRF 250L from 2014, so that's the first generation. It has right about 15,000 miles on it. 2015 Yamaha R3, about 15,000, 16,000 miles on it. And a 2015 FZ07 with about 7,500 miles on it. A 1997 Big Bear 350. We got a 2003 Yamaha Kodiak four-wheeler there. We got a 1996 Cobalt boat here. Well over 1,000 hours, I think over 1,100 hours on it, which for a boat, you know, they say power sports, oh, you know, high mileage, all these concerns. So we're going to get out there and talk about this this whole concept of, should you be scared of old age and high mileage? So one thing that is very important for having older power sports equipment and maintaining it and keeping it in good condition, and also when you're shopping for it, trying to determine, is this worthwhile getting? Oh, she feels good. I have missed this bike. I just missed the analog tachometer. I don't know why nobody cares about that anymore. Everyone's so happy with the digitals, but I just missed the analog tachs, okay? One of the biggest things to look for is, how is it stored? So the BMW I got was a barn find kind of thing. It sat for years. There's a video way back on my YouTube channel where I found a mouse nest in the air intake of it when I was kind of going through it and changing out air filters, spark plugs, getting it running again. So how it's stored really matters. If something is stored in a barn or outside, it is going to accelerate the degradation of stuff by at least like a factor of like 1.5 or 2 maybe. Where I think of a bike where it's like, okay, if it's a 10-year-old bike but it was stored outside its whole entire life, it's kind of like it was a 20-year-old bike versus a 10-year-old bike that was stored inside, because the lubricants, like the grease and the head bearings, the chain is going to be gross generally. You're just going to rust on all your fasteners, all these bolts that hold parts of the engine together and frame, and it's going to be really annoying to have to like go through, and if you ever have to remove those to service the bike, it's just a bit of a pain in the butt. And so that's why I say, like, you know, when I've got my bike that's like a 1993, I'm not too surprised when I end up having to like get some special like removal tools to remove stripped bolt heads and things like that, because it's like, well, it's a 1993, right? The metallurgy wasn't as good, it's old and tired, it's rusty, it's just the way it goes. So that's one of the first things to look for, is how was the bike stored. Another part that really matters is how the bike was maintained. So I don't run this stuff very often, but I just so happened to have some, and I ran some in my FZ07 before I did a road trip, and I could not believe how much better of gas mileage I got on that road trip. It was noticeable. It was like, at least, like, it felt like it was 7 to 10 mpg easily. So, you know, how do you maintain this stuff? Is it like oils changed regularly with like high quality full synthetic? Do you ever run anything like this to make sure your fuel injector is actually like mist instead of like just spray or like dribble fuel into your the engine. So it's all these little things I feel like that really add up. And also, this is stuff you can tell when you go to like buy a bike, or you're looking at it, where it's like, okay, like, do you have any service records on it? You know, you can, on a lot of bikes, you can pretty easily like look at the chain, maybe kind of pull out the dipstick, or try to see like how the oil looks. And if it's all nasty and gross, if they have no idea when the last service was done, all those things are huge red flags. Because like Doug DeMuro says, you're really not necessarily buying the bike. You can only tell so much, or the car, his world, you can only tell so much from it. But what you can really control is like, you're really buying the buyer, you're really buying the previous owner, and how they maintained it, how they cared for it. And if they just trashed it, then you know, you're getting their secondhand stuff. So you're really trying to interview the buyer, really trying to understand how they cared for it, how they used it, stuff like that. The other thing I'll say about like buying the previous buyer and all this stuff, and people's aversion to older bikes and older power sports equipment, is a lot of the time it's very abused. And like, you know, this bike has been to the track. If you look at the tires on it, they're all gummed up with the little like rubber balls on it, kind of. Like, I use my stuff pretty intensely, right? The boat, like, we ski on it, it accelerates hard. We tube on it. We, you know, all these things actually get used. The four-wheelers tow heavy things, like they tow trailers, but they also get ripped on the trails, right? And so I think a lot of it comes down to how much like you can actually do of maintenance yourself. And I think for a lot of people it's kind of a lost skill, where they just don't know. Maybe they didn't grow up with anyone who could have taught them how to maintain stuff and work on their own stuff. Maybe they never had the desire. But some of these people I see on YouTube, they, when they're picking up a tool and they're gonna like do some work on a bike, or try to film this video about them working on a bike, sometimes it just looks like they're doing it for the first time ever, right? Like, have you ever seen someone walk up to a piano or a musical instrument or something where it's like they literally have no idea what they're doing? They're playing the sport for the first time, they're like clumsy, it takes all of their concentration and focus. And that's what I feel like I see out of a lot of the like big YouTube channel people that like try to do work on their stuff, where it's like, you know, if you ever like watched like a Moto America race team or anything like that in the paddocks, like those people are a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. Like, a tool is like an extension of their body. They just know exactly what they're doing. And I would say, like, you should really aspire to something like that. And for a lot of people, I know a lot of people who don't turn wrenches and who it's very intimidating for, but I think they think I have a special ability, or like people who own these kind of like more power sports things, more fun toys, and do work on them themselves. It's like we have some kind of like special knowledge that they don't. And to be honest with you, it's not. It's just hard work. Like, I oftentimes will try to watch a couple different people's tutorials before I tackle a big job on a bike, or anything. And then sometimes when I can't figure out how to do stuff, you'll see that I post videos of like, hey, here's a little hack of how to do this like little installation part on your boat that's really difficult, or something like that, where it's just like, you know, I'm just out here, I feel like I'm in a community of people where it's like we're all trying to do it for the first time together, sort of, right? Some people might have done it before, like this is their second time through and they're sharing it now, but I feel like for a lot of us it's sort of like, yeah, this is our first time through, we're just trying to learn, we're just trying to get better, we're just trying to save some money here and like be able to fix our stuff and enjoy our stuff for a long time. So I would really encourage you, like, start with small projects. Start with, you know, changing an air filter or something like that, like cleaning a spark arrestor in your exhaust, like any of these little things, and look through your maintenance manual and see when they're scheduled to be done, and then follow them and like try to actually do stuff on time. Because this bike runs like a dream. It's so much fun to go to the track with. It requires such little maintenance by comparison to like how hard I ride it and how much enjoyment I get out of it. I think I killed a butterfly. And so I'd really just encourage you, like, we don't have any special ability, we don't have any special knowledge really that you aren't able to get. All my knowledge, all my stuff that I learned is pretty much like through asking people for help and getting help from like neighbors, my dad, brother, like friends, family, and YouTube. And most of their knowledge, most of the people I reach out to and ask, like, they just have like a little bit different knowledge, because they're like, oh yeah, I like work more on cars, or I work more on like lawnmowers, whatever it is, and we just cooperate and help each other. So I'd really encourage you all, don't be afraid. Like some of these more popular like influencers and stuff are trying to make you afraid of like older machines. There are plenty of really well seasoned riders out there who are riding very old bikes with a lot of mileage. Fort 9 just did an interview of this one guy. It was like Marty's Mobile Detailing, and I think he had like 1 million miles or 1 million kilometers on his BMW, super old BMW. You'd never think twice to look at it, right? But there's just like so much like wisdom you can learn from those kind of people, and there are so many bikes out there with such high mileage. Like to see Yami Noob scoff at like, oh, it's a bike that has 20,000 miles on it, like, oh, it's totally clapped out and it's done. And it's just like, I mean, if it was like ridden really hard and put away wet and wasn't maintained well, and like it maybe if all 20,000 of those miles are at the racetrack, but there are hardly anyone doing all their miles at the racetrack. I mean, most people are doing like a very healthy mix of some racetrack miles, some, you know, street miles, probably mostly street miles for a lot of these people. And I just think the aversion to the high mileage, older age stuff is really overblown on YouTube. So here's your encouragement: get out, get a fun old bike, don't be afraid of it, and learn something new. So you all ride safe, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.